about the kennel and how it's laid out is we have it in like a horseshoe shape. We don't have rows of kennels.
Like 5 feet away from each other.
Yes, we have to have distance. If dogs are kind of staring at each other face to face all day, again, where the temperature's coming up. So I'm a huge believer in not having rows of kennels. And it's so funny. Some of the people over the years I've consulted with over my kennel operations are like, you've got all this wasted money,
all this
right in the middle of your
Yep.
place, and you're just leaving all that money on the table. And I'm like, you have no idea how important it is to have all this space for these dogs to settle down. And I'm just not gonna compromise on that.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Corey.
And welcome to Love 'em and Lead 'em.
Lessons and laughs with the ladies of Dog Training Camp USA.
In this podcast, you'll take away proven and practical dog training advice with plenty of stories and laughs along the way.
Join us as we share our experience from the kennel and from life.
With that, let's sniff our way into this episode.
It was a secret.
Oh.
No, but you know what this weekend was? The Great Backyard Bird Count.
I know. I didn't
And
do
we
it.
didn't.
We shouldn't talk about not doing it. That's a terrible way to start.
Hey guys, here's the story of how me and Corey didn't participate in the Backyard Bird Count.
The national birding event of the world. We didn't do it.
I'm really sorry to our audience. Expected better of us.
We are epic disappointments.
I was in Eastern Kentucky over the Great Backyard Bird Count, and I was in the Red River Gorge area, and it's the terrain there is such that it's if you're from here, it's very densely wooded terrain. So like where I was staying, there wasn't much songbird action up in the mountains.
There was a lot of ice, though.
Yeah, there was. Oh, I was going to ask you why you didn't do
the
backyard bird count. It's because you covered for me in taught class.
Oh, because I worked all weekend, so you could go.
Oh, I worked
hang
all
around
weekend.
in the woods.
That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
No, I'm recovering from the plague. I still don't feel great, and I did get the bird feeders filled up, but I did not do any counting, and I feel like a terrible birder, and I'm sorry.
It's okay, because spring migration is merely weeks away.
Yeah, it's
true. You may not see or hear from us for a while.
We might go AWOL.
I don't know if work will be secondary to spring migration.
Well, and
birding.
we joined a new Facebook group that is...
No, don't. No, you can't talk about it.
Well, I won't
it's
say
secret.
the name. I won't say the name.
No,
of
I
it.
don't want
I'm
everybody
not
to know
gonna say
about
the name of it. So we joined a new Facebook group, which I'm not going to say the name of.
You better not.
And if I tag you, you'll know. And they are giving out like buku tips about where to go birding. And they're even putting Google Earth pictures of like,
I know.
Here's the parking lot. And then they circle the tree
That's
where
why
the bird is.
I don't want to put it out on the internet. I don't want all of
I'm
these
not going to tell.
birding spots to be soiled.
But it's really exciting. So we have and we're going on a trip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We stay tuned about the details of the trip.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that later.
It's
but
for
anyway,
the purpose of birds, though.
We are sorry that we failed the backyard bird count. I'm sorry specifically to the Cornell School of Ornithology.
I would like to issue an apology to the Audubon Society.
I would also like to once again re-apologize for calling the sandhill cranes the wrong thing and reiterate that they are indeed called the ribeye of the sky. And
it rhymes.
On another note about sandhill cranes, I'm being fed a lot of sandhill crane content, and I'm watching a whole group of crane hunters in Alabama have an email war of reply all.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I
So
love
anyway,
it.
that's our birding update.
Okay.
It's not a great one. It's not a great update, and there's a lot of apologizing. We'll do better, I promise.
We'll do better. The blind birdathon is also around the corner. We'll
We'll nail that
We're
one.
not blind, but
Yeah.
we'll kill it. So today we are going to discuss something, and we're calling it a day in the life of dog training camp, baby.
Oh, are we calling it like baby at the end? too?
No, just for emphasis.
Oh, okay.
I said baby.
Yeah, people are always asking us.
Yeah.
What's it like at camp? What will my dog do? How long will they be in a kennel? Yada, yada, yada. Will they forget me? So we thought, we haven't talked about actual work stuff in a minute. So we better explain what we're doing.
The answer to will my dog forget me is always yes.
Yeah, they'll forget you. And if they don't forget you, they'll hate you when you pick up.
Oh, great. Somebody's going to take that sound bite.
Just kidding. No, we've never, ever, ever had a dog forget
No,
or be sad that its owners got there. So
never. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what does it look like if your dog comes to camp? What are we doing? Why is it different?
A day in the life. Yeah, we do things very differently. And I will say all of our processes that we're about to discuss are, it's a method and a way of training that we've just kind of experimented with over the years and have found things that work and things that don't work. So
We've had some great mentors too.
we tell everybody that we're not one size fits all. So this is a general, kind of run of the mill day. If your dog is with us for something different or something very specialized or advanced, all of this will kind of look differently for every case. But this is kind of the daily schedule we follow. A lot of people are concerned about times that we feed, and we're going to get into all of that as well. So
Yeah, for
a
sure.
day in the life of dog training camp. Well, it depends on what time of year it is, of what time we start. So
That's true.
a lot of our work is seasonal. So during this time of year, we're in the dead of winter. Our day starts at 6:30 a.m. In the summertime, we start closer to 5 or 5:30 to beat the heat and get most of our work done before that midday heat kicks in. But we're getting there around 6 or 6:30, and a lot of this depends on volume too. So some of these times are dependent. If this is a slower time of year for us, so we're there around 6:30. Busier times 6.
Yep. Everybody went to bed tired. They
Yep.
slept all night. We get there at 6:30. And what?
The first thing everybody does is go out to potty. And the question we get all the time is, are they left overnight? And the answer is yes. No humans are on the premises overnight, but we do have a 4-legged night watchman whose name is Murphy.
Correct.
Keeps the place under control
He's
for
very
us.
stealthy.
In all seriousness, we have 24-hour CCTV monitoring and an alarm system and all the things. But we monitor them overnight, obviously, and the very first thing they do is get to relieve themselves before anything else happens. So then it's time for breakfast. A potty break is just, 5-ish minutes out on the leash, sniff. Do the things you need to do. We drop the food. While dogs are eating, we're cleaning up. Obviously, any messes from overnight get cleaned up because this period of resting after eating is very important to the training day. So in the sequence of a training day, the very first thing I always want my dog to do is run out in the backyard and be dumb and goofy and sniff.
Blow the stink off.
And whatever it needs to do to get out of its system. Usually it's a stretch of the legs. A lot of dogs we work with are very high energy. They're young. They're full of crap, right? So the training day is designed. Oh my gosh, I'm going to talk this whole time.
Go ahead.
The
We're a
training
play
day-
first kennel.
we play. They got to air out, man. This is, trust me, trial and error. They got to air out. So they go air out after that rest time of eating. So everybody rests between 1 and 2 hours after they've finished their food. And that is because the first thing of training is to go run. And if I let them go run on a full stomach, then they're in danger of getting an injury, sort of, called GVD, which is, I'm going to butcher it, gastrovile. Matt, will you search that one up for me? I'm going to butcher it. Bloat for layman's
bloat.
terms.
Everybody knows it as bloat.
Everybody knows it as bloat.
Some
but
dogs have a bigger tendency to get it than others, but it's a risk factor that we are just not willing to take. And so we can build in rest into our day. And so we do that very intentionally.
Yeah. So we're not even going to mess with the possibility of bloat. Mandatory rest time after breakfast. Then we get to go be silly. This time of day is we might be doing some play groups.
So
this is kind of a training. Yes, they go get to be silly, but it's very structured. It's always with a trainer. It's usually one-on-one or in a very, very small play group.
Yeah, we're working on social interaction. If we're working with a group, we do introductions very strategically. So they might go out and just play with a trainer and play ball or play rope or just run around and sniff. And we're working on recall. We're working on when the dog comes back, not jumping on us. So the dog feels like it's playing, but we know it's a very important part of training is that kind of looser behavior in those kind of settings and what is appropriate and what isn't.
Yeah. So like they're probably out there for like 15 or so minutes, and the first like probably 2 or 3 minutes of the whole interaction is me ignoring the dog.
Correct.
Because I'm like, this is your time. Because then the rest of the session is going to have the parameters of, if you want to play with this toy, here's how the rules are going to go. You know, sometimes they go out and they right away ask to play rope or whatever their favorite thing is. But so then we figure out, this is a time that we figure out, what is the dog like? What is it motivated by? You know,
what is it distracted by?
Does it go out there and just all it does is want to sniff? Not interested in any toys? That informs some of the later training decisions that we make.
Will it go do anything by itself, or does it have to be attached to us, like in the yard? We have dogs that come in super nervous and they won't even walk around in the dog yard without us.
Yeah. So that time spent in the dog yard is that they need it so bad, and so they get those sessions several times, those kind of air out sessions several times throughout the day. After they've had their play session, it's on to kind of like our structured, we're doing our leash walking, we're doing our commands, our business time, right? So now I've given you time to goof off, you know, now we gotta rein it in and be on our best behavior for a minute. So that's kind of the method to the madness there. And what kinds of things are we doing?
Well, we're working on all the basics, basic obedience, sitting at every door, leash walking, manners in general. Just some boundaries of, you're not putting your feet on me, you're not putting your mouth on me. This is how you get my attention. And we're teaching them all the ins and outs of that. So we're just rotating dogs through the kennel. So, you know, we have multiple trainers. So every dog is doing these different kind of sessions. Back when I was teaching preschool, were you gonna say that?
Yeah, you said it the other day, and I was like,
it's like we do centers.
Yeah,
we do. We really do centers.
Yeah.
You know, first center is breakfast, then free play, then structured leash walking, then we do place, then we have lunch and nap, then and it's rinse and repeat over and over all day. So dogs people ask, well, how many hours a day is the dog in a kennel or a crate? Well, I mean, they're literally in and out all day long.
Yeah.
Like, there's multiple trainers, multiple people are pulling them and working with them. And what is cool about our training is that it's not person specific. It's not really equipment or treat specific.
Yeah.
It's behavior specific. So anybody can pull a dog out of a kennel, even if they haven't worked with them, And as long as we are doing the body language and the way of communicating that the dog is used to, which all of us do, then we can all be successful.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So that's, we do leash sessions, then we work on place. Place is sending your dog to a dog bed to relax. These are really good coping skills for the dog. It's a good way to teach the dog a shut off switch.
And again, typically those play sessions are done after our leash session. So again, we're trying to set the dog up for success. So if we want it to lay still on this place bed for a minute and try to start to learn how to settle the hell down,
Right.
we got to do the other two things first. We got to give it some mental slow leash walking, paying attention to commands, be doing all of that, and a crazy run session. Usually we can get some place work in without too much resistance.
Right.
And then once we start having positive things happen on the place bed where a dog is like, I was crazy all morning, and like resting on the place bed is the reward.
Yeah.
Like
being calm.
Like this, they start to realize like my body feels good like this.
Correct.
And the ladies give me attention when my body feels like this. And then before you know it, they're way calmer. They can calm themselves down.
Yep.
So that's the place stuff.
And we'll do it in different locations. We'll do it with
proof 'em.
multiple dogs out. We'll do it with one dog out. Everybody is so different. We give everybody what they need. Not everybody gets the same. So it just depends on what's going on, who's in the kennel, who's in for what. We're doing a lot of the same activities, no matter what they're in for, because these activities are also relationship building, and the consistency in the structure is very calming for the dogs. So we're doing a lot of the same activities, but we're always looking at it under the umbrella of what they came in for. So it might be a service dog. Well, the service dog needs all these activities as well. Or it might be a puppy. It doesn't matter what they're in for. We're doing the similar activities under the umbrella of what they're there to really be focused on.
Yeah. The other activity that would be happening around that time is field trips.
Oh, yeah, in the mornings.
So we take, depending on how far in a dog is at camp, if usually on day like 7 or 8 or 9, if they're there for a 3 or 4 week camp, we try to take them off the premises and make them do obedience other places. So obviously lows, feeders, when the weather's nice, we do the park here. We have a neighborhood pretty close by. We do some neighborhood walking in. So those are really necessary things.
It really helps them generalize the skills. So I don't just do it in this place with this person. I do it with anybody that picks up my leash. I do it in every location. So really it helps generalize those skills, which helps it stick with the family when the dog goes back to the family.
Well, and a lot of them are pretty stressed out the first time we do it. Like some of the dogs, we get a lot of scared and anxious dogs, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of them are getting in the car with a trainer who they've just built a bond with. And it's a little scary, or it's a little like they don't know what to expect. And like, it's the coolest thing ever. Like, it's like the training always turns a corner after the first field trip. Like, they're like, oh, I can trust these people.
Yep.
And I had a positive experience. It wasn't that bad. Of course we have some field trips where we just are like, the dog is better off not going, right?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, though.
It doesn't. Or, we'll have a thing. Sometimes it's, well, the dog really loves going, but gets super car sick. So now the car is traumatic for everybody or something, like field trips aren't everything, but we will usually at least do one.
I'm going to say it. If you are paying someone for a board and train, and they are never taking your dog outside of their kennel, or if they do it out of their home, then you're paying for the wrong thing. I feel that strongly about it.
It's pretty necessary.
Now, for a 2 week, we are very upfront. We just don't have the time to do it in a 2 week. So that is a choice that is made by the client. But for our standard camp, I feel like field trips are super, super important for generalizing things, for the socialization, to teach them, again, that the world is not so scary and they just have to rely on their human. I feel like every board and train place
Yeah.
should be taking dogs on field trips off premises.
Yeah, and don't worry, folks, because logistically, it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's
Oh, my
always
gosh.
been,
It is. It's a lot of work.
And my trainers, I mean, I've said it before on this podcast, but I'll say it again. We have the best staff
Correct.
ever. They're literal angels, and they're all badass and tough as hell, and they handle all these dogs. They're always trying to bite them and shitting in their cars. People,
Yeah, they
my
do.
girls at the kennel freaking rock. Anyways, they are such good sports about it, but it requires so much communication, so much, logistical back and forth. Is this
And
dog
trust.
ready? And trust. Anyways, the field trip thing. If you're a dog trainer listening to this,
We know
it's worth it, though.
It's terrible, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It shows in the outcomes so
Yeah.
much. And some of these dogs come in and maybe, we talked about Pippa once. She never got to go anywhere because her dad was so worried about her biting somebody or how
Yeah.
she would handle it. And so they've never been.
Yeah.
And so to see their world open up and like to give her dad the confidence that,
Yeah.
hey, we did this with her. If you do what we tell you, you can do this with her.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it.
It was,
Yeah.
it's really, really beneficial. Like I picked up a dog last week at 7 a.m. I picked up a dog last week at 7:30 a.m. and
Yeah.
took him on road trips, and we had a great time.
Yeah, all of our service and therapy dogs get to go to Corey's meetings.
My meetings.
The meetings that I don't want to go to
Yeah, Melanie won't
that
go,
require
but
socializing.
I take
and-
service dogs and
Yeah.
therapy dogs with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think field trips are super important.
Yeah, so we're doing field trips as one of our centers. Excuse me. And that goes until about lunchtime. So I think I did the math one. Well, I've done the math, and I think on average, a dog just at a normal stay for doing normal, kind of what we would consider normal things, just basic leash training, potty breaks, basic activity, they get out of their kennels like 13 times a day.
That's a lot.
Between morning for that first potty break to tuck in night time. So that's
You did a count on that?
well, yeah.
Nice.
I had to figure out our cost of labor.
Oh,
Somebody
geez,
really
that's a whole
smart told me
nother-
that.
That's a whole nother day.
But
Well, and it's not 13 times a day they're going potty and going back in. Like they're being worked with individually
that's what I was getting ready
13
to
times
say.
a day.
That is the 26 times that your dog is practicing door manners.
A day.
Because there's 3 doors. No, there's
Uh-oh.
3 doors. No,
She's
I know
mathing,
this is a
folks.
rabbit hole. Anyways, there's 3 doors they have to pass through to go out into the grass, and they got to pass through 3 doors to come back in.
Yep.
So your dog is being made to sit at a door 6 times for one potty break for
Yep.
one of these things. So anyways,
That's why when people are like, what's better?
Yeah.
What's more effective, lessons or camp? I'm like, well, if I'm being honest, camp, because you're not going to have your dog sit 6 times to practice
negative
go
Ghost Rider.
one potty break.
Ain't
so
nobody going to do
we
that.
just can exact change very quickly because of how everything is set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Well, and I want to say before you talk about lunch, I want to say we have our kennel set up very strategically, and when a dog is in its kennel, it's also learning. So they're seeing everything that's going on. They're seeing us interact with other dogs. They're seeing other dogs do the behavior that they're expected to do as well. They're having conversations with, we've talked about this a million times. They're always talking about something. We just aren't privy to
it's
it.
a giant co-regulation.
Yeah. So there's a lot of latent learning that happens after their session, even when they're in a kennel, which is also important. So we're giving them some downtime. They can process these things
Yeah.
and also learn to settle
Yeah.
while they're resting.
Well, I purposely got kennels. If you've seen probably pictures and videos of our kennel on the internet, or I think is there stuff on our website of the kennel? Whatever it is. It's on the internet. I have like they can see each other all the way down. So you might, if you've been to a commercial kennel, sometimes like 3 to 5-ish feet up the kennel, it will have a material that the dog can't see through. And that's a problem.
Yeah. So then they're jumping all the time.
Yeah. And
they're
can't,
jumping to be able to look
that's
out.
a big problem. So I'm not saying if that it's wrong. I'm saying for the purposes of I'm trying to get these dogs to calm the hell down all the time, then they have to be able to see each other. But that also means if there's one losing its mind, it can also set the whole group off, right? So like the whole time we have movable dividers so that if like a dog is getting too stressed out because it can see what another dog is doing, then we can move things around. But it's like a game of Tetris, man. Like just last week, me and Caitlin had to move. We were laughing about musical dogs. Like one was getting stressed and then we ended up having to change everybody. We just moved like 5 dogs around.
And it helped.
And then it was like, oh yeah, everybody shut up now. Okay, great.
It's
it's incredible.
Keeping them calm in there. It's a very different than an animal shelter type setting.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say 85% of the time it's completely silent because they're exercised, they're fulfilled, and they're settling and they're kind of entertained. It's like dog TV.
Yeah.
They're seeing what all's going on.
So just based off of the activities of the morning, I mean, they're exhausted
Correct.
by this point. Because they've not had a ton of downtime yet. So they're usually ready to like curl up, take a night by this point in the day. The other thing I was going to say about the kennel and how it's laid out is we have it in like a horseshoe shape. We don't have rows of kennels
like 5 feet away from each other.
Yes, we have to have distance. If dogs are kind of staring at each other face to face all day, again, the temperature's coming up. So I'm a huge believer in not having rows of kennels. And it's so funny. Some of the people over the years I've consulted with over my kennel operations are like, you've got all this wasted money,
all this
right in the middle of your
Yep.
place, and you're just leaving all that money on the table. And I'm like, you have no idea how important it is to have all this space for these dogs
Yep.
to settle down. And I'm just not gonna compromise on that. So anyways, it's all very purposeful and thought. A lot of thought goes into how all that goes.
We could pack 20 more dogs back there.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
Because of how we operate,
Yeah,
and because of what we want our focus to be, we refuse to do that.
Yeah.
So
leaving all that money on the table, Jimmy. I'm like,
well, it can stay on the table because we're looking at what's best for the dogs.
Yeah.
So they have an action-packed morning. The longer they're there, the more distractions we're adding. We start doing field trips, things like that.
Yep.
And then we feed dinner really early. I'm going to talk about why.
well, we don't really call it dinner. I'm just kidding. We do. We feed twice a day typically, unless we have like a teeny baby puppy that needs more food, or we have like a giant breed dog that again is at risk of bloat and we don't want to be giving them big meals.
Right.
Bloat is like if you ate a giant plate of spaghetti and then went and ran a mile.
It makes me barf just thinking about it.
A dog's stomach ours is vertical, right? And so a dog's stomach is horizontal, and all that shit in there just fills up with gas and it flips, and then boom, Merry Christmas, they're dead. So
That's
we
grim.
don't want to do that.
No.
And so we feed them at 1 p.m. again. And the reason is usually it's the hottest part of the day here in Kentucky. And that's the time of day I need them to be resting and not working. So, they have to have an hour of rest before they eat. They have to have about an hour of rest after they eat. So, we do another potty break. We do lunch/dinner. And then we do that mandatory nap time between kind of 2 and 4. They're already exhausted from the morning.
Yep.
Usually they're needing more stuff. Sometimes we'll pull them back out if we didn't get to a session, or, we need to do some more play sessions. Sometimes we'll do play sessions during that nap time. And then around 4 o'clock, we
Rinse and repeat.
we rinse and repeat. We don't do as much of the structured leash work in the evening time. But everybody gets a whole other backyard jaunt before bedtime.
Yep.
And 2 more potty breaks. So before they're tucked in, and usually depending on the time of year and the volume of dogs, we're out of there between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So
Yep. It's full days. People will ask me,
yeah.
"Was somebody there overnight?" And I said, "No, it's literally the opposite of what most people have. We're there all day with them and not
Yeah.
overnight. And
Yeah.
most people are there overnight
work.
and gone
Yeah.
all day when the dog is awake. So
right.
they're getting full days of fun and adventure, and there's no shortage of cuddling and smooching.
Yeah, I mean, we build that into it because you're going to do that at home with your dog. So your dog still has to learn how to be calm sitting next to you on the couch. I mean, unless you bring me a dog and say, this dog isn't allowed on the furniture, your dog is getting couch time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to
we
kiss
do
it.
ask. We do ask.
Yeah.
And yes, we will kiss it.
I'm going to kiss it so bad.
I feel like
So,
once they come, they're like our dogs. Everybody knows them so well.
it's always fun to see the trainers have little relationships with each of them. Or
Yep.
like, I'm always like, I bet, this trainer is not going to like this dog or think this dog is challenging. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Or we'll get one where we'll be like, oh, we know Caitlin loves little,
Oh yeah.
Aussie looking dogs. And
That dog came in Saturday morning for a consult, and I said, Melanie is going to die when
She's
she
a little
sees this
like
dog.
wire-haired dachshund.
Oh,
But
she
it looks
comes
like a
next
cloud.
week. Oh,
She
man.
looked like a cloud. Oh, anyways. So, that's cool about camp too. So that's a day. That's a whole day. Usually, sometimes we do more play sessions in the evening times
Yeah.
too.
The evening schedule is a little bit looser as far as
A lot of times it's weather dependent.
Yeah.
So, another thing about our place, if you've never been, we have no, we do most of our training outside.
we do a ton of work outside
I'd say 80% of our work is done outside. So
because real life people are not training their dog in their house to walk and all the other things either.
Well,
So
yeah.
we want to have the natural distractions. We want them to have as much fresh air as we can possibly have. So we're like the post office. It could be sleet, snow, rain. It doesn't matter. We're still training outside.
I mean, it has to be dangerous for the dog and the humans. So temperature wise, high or low, weather conditions will obviously we make do and do the best we can. But we do most of our work outdoors.
We have
So,
a lot of safety procedures. Like all of that stuff is on our website though, like our standard of care and
Yeah.
some of that. But we have a red binder of safety procedures for any foreseeable catastrophe that could happen. I mean, you can't have a special ed teacher and an Army canine handler and have any kind of chaos at all. We don't function well.
speak for yourself.
Okay.
I love the chaos.
You and your retractable leash with your
Yeah. So yeah.
So we're very structured. We don't take ourselves very seriously, but we take what we do very seriously. And we take the health and safety of the dogs top priority.
What else do the people need to know about what happens at dog training camp?
I mean, we're so ridiculous. There's probably things we shouldn't tell them, but
We have a bad boy corner. We call it the bad boy corner.
oh my gosh. So
I'm not
a
going to
long
name
time ago.
any names of who
We-
was in the bad boy corner, but we have a bad boy corner at the kennel.
The bad
internally.
boy corner is a reinforced kennel that has a lid
Yeah.
for, the random wolf dog.
So don't be bringing me any wolf hybrids. Be climbing at the tops of my kennels.
Oh my gosh.
People.
Of all the things, years ago we had a wolf hybrid. It was a whole thing. And today somebody called me with a wolf hybrid. And I
that
said,
was on Thanksgiving that happened.
oh, I forgot about that. We've had a lot of incidents on Thanksgiving, but just today a guy called, he led with that he had a Great Dane that he needed help with, and then followed up with the
Buried
old
the lead.
1-2 punch. And the 2 was their wolf dog.
I think they call that a doorknob confession.
And okay. And I said, I'll just be real honest. We currently have a moratorium on wolf hybrids, but after we work with your Dane, I will entertain the idea of it. You
Ain't no
can
wolves coming to my kennel.
bring her in.
Murphy
She's-
would never.
Well, she lives with a cat, and she likes the cat, and they have a
Of
disabled
course she
kid.
does. Yeah, I bet she
All the
does.
better to eat you with. So anyway, I told him that we would consider letting them come for a consultation. But yes, it's called
He
Bad Boy
calls it-
Corner.
Yeah.
It's called Bad Boy Corner.
Nope.
It has a lid. Because no dogs are bad. We love them all.
Yeah. Yeah. If we call a dog a bad, it's just ironically.
We say, you're a bad dog.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, every dog gets a bath before they go home. Because we can let them waller in the mud a lot, which is nice. Because,
Yeah.
again,
They're not allowed
they
to
don't
get
get to
muddy
do that at home. So we let them do it because we can just hose everything down.
Yep. Yep. They have a lot of fun doing that.
What else?
One time we rented the bubble machine from the library.
Oh, we did.
As an
you
enriching
don't
tool.
rent it from the library. You borrow it.
Right.
We borrowed the library's
A
bubble
lot
machine.
of dogs were
had
scared
a
of
bubble
it.
party.
I think it was when the weather was bad and we were like, oh boy,
I
we
think
got to
it's
get
too hot
creative.
to go outside.
Yeah. So.
We like to do fun stuff, but mostly we just have dogs with us all the time. If your dog's in the kennel, it could be doing any number of things. It could cuddle with us. It could go on trips with us. It could eat lunch with the staff. I mean, any
Yep.
manner of anything. We pretty much are always doing it with a dog.
Yep. Yep. So
That's it.
I hope this answered all the burning questions about what we actually do.
If your question is
Every
still
day.
burning, you should go see a doctor and get some antibiotics.
Or call Corey.
Don't
Don't worry, because our phones are down. Everything's fine.
Yep, that's a day in the life of the kennel dog.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Love 'Em and Lead 'Em. If you want to hear more, be sure to check us out every other week on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Dog Training Camp USA Louisville and check out our website at dogtrainingcamplouisville.com for more information on our training and other services.
If you need help with your dog, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find our contact details in the show notes.
We'll smell you later.